Good evening, people of the interwebs. It is me, Salvation1, back again for a video. I've just watched Mr. Menzies' video, Smsno to everybody out there. Part of the Figure Force. You should check them out. Good lads. He asked a very interesting question. Actually, he asked, "Where are you with YouTube, life, and your collection?" Well, collection and what your collecting habits are and stuff like that, and are you happy with it and stuff like that, and is it affecting you personally, your life and things like that. Well, generally, me starships, I mean, I've just got like both versions of Enterprise F today, which is a lovely fucking ship. I love it to death. It's a beautiful looking ship. As I'm collecting them. I just need a bit of space. I need to put some shelves up so I can display them. But because I'm, everybody knows, a huge Star Trek fan, and I want all the ships. Because, like I said on previous occasions, we're getting ships that we've never gotten before in this collection, and I absolutely fucking love that. But as Transformers though, my collecting, in fact, the only new figure I've bought recently is Blowpipe here, and I put in with Trigger Happy. That's the only new figure I've bought in. Do you know what? It's been so long I can't even remember. It might even be last TFN, to be perfectly honest. It's been that. If it's been too long, if I can't remember, it's been too long. No, I tell a lie. It was Power of the Primes. What the fuck is it called? Hunger, I think, was the last figure I bought. Was that before? No. The last figure I got was Christmas. My sister got me Titan's Return. No, Power of the Primes. Elite 1. I had to think what figure. It's been a while, I must admit. You see, my collecting, the biggest. Hang on a minute. How can I articulate this? I usually keep my collecting to TFN. I usually save up loads of money, go to TFN, buy a load of toys. But there are occasions when I see them out and about, and I will pick up a figure there, here, there, if I see one, But my collection, as is, I mean, it's not as big as a lot of people's, and there are. I mean, like Dave, for example, he collects mostly Optimus Primes. There are a few other things that he's got here and there, and as everybody knows, G1. I love my G1. I'm collecting G1, right? And Generations sometimes and things like that. I'm grouping Generations with Power of the Primes, the Prime Wars trilogy, the War for Cybertron Siege, all that stuff. It's basically G1, isn't it? Basically Generations, rather, should I say. And it's basically a case of I'm the collector that I'm trying to be completionist when it comes to G1, because it's G1, and I think because most of the figures are over 30 years old now, I think there's that thing of I will probably never get it all, and there's always something to strive for. Whereas the new stuff, depending where you get it, you can probably get most of it, or all of it, if not all of it, right? But I'm also in the box of whatever tickles me fancy. If I'm at TFN and I find a figure from whatever line that just speaks to me and goes, buy me, I will buy it. But I'm not going to be, I need every version of that mould. There are different occasions, and I want as many Soundwaves as I want, because everybody knows Soundwave is my boy. But for collecting, my collecting obsession, let's be honest, it's an obsession. We've all got the obsession. We all spend an insane amount of money on plastic robots. But You see, again, I've said this many times. God, my hair's falling out. I said this. Fucking, me fucking hair's falling out. You know what? I'll leave it fucking down. I mean, we've all said this before, but I've said this before at least, and I think that some of these figures that I've bought, the particular ones I bought from TFN and that, they're a tangible memory. I look at my G1 shelf there, which is in a bit of a disarray and he's sorting out. But I look at my G1 shelf there, and I see my Star Saber, and there's a story behind it. I see my Skylinks, there's a story behind it. I see Masterpiece Soundwave that's here, there's a story behind that. And it's, you know, I mean, this thing here, right? It's Soundwave, he's my favourite character, and I've got a representation of him that looks like the cartoon. But also, it's a tangible memory of Auto Assembly 2013. When I got him, I bought him off Jim Monkey's End, and I was in a bit of a bad place, and I bought him and off Jim for really, probably a steal, probably, and it made me feel better, not because of the thing, not because of this. Well, yeah, obviously this, but it just the circumstances behind me getting this, I think, made me feel a little bit better. You go back on there before I drop you. So there's circumstance behind it, you know. But as for, does my collecting get in the way of my life and stuff like that? I'd say no, because I'm part-time at work. I don't do many hours, but with the hours that I get, I can save up and afford to come to TFN every year, right? And it does mean sometimes selling a few things here and there. And, you know, so but sometimes, and it's probably, you know, everybody knows I've got a bit of depression every once in a while, but I mean, it's not been so bad in recent months. But what I mean is sometimes when you get paid, you want to treat yourself, and you will go out and buy a toy, or I will go out and buy a toy, or get my ships through the post and stuff like that. And for that fleeting moment, makes me feel a little bit happy, you know? And I think, I don't know, this is a very difficult subject. It's very hard to articulate what you want to say with it. Oh, fucking hell. Gotta stop saying I was trying not to say it there, but I couldn't help myself. I think it's spend as much as you want, buy the figures that you want. You don't have to buy everything, you know. Have something to strive for. Have the thing that you can't find at the moment, but then when you get it, you go, I've been looking for this for ages. I've got it now. It's mine. I can do it. But more importantly, you know, everybody's entitled to a hobby. You know, people collect Star Wars figures or play golf, or I mean, people can spend, you know, thousands of pounds on repairing an old car or whatever, you know. So whatever, it's the whole thing of whatever makes you happy, do it. But if it gets to a point where you're buying it for the sake of buying it, or you're not happy doing that, and it's just not making you happy, it's just buying it out of habit, don't buy it. It will always be there. You know, you can always find it. Like for example, you know, the latest, like War for Cybertron Siege Soundwave. I want him because he's Soundwave. But is my life going to fall apart around my ears if I don't get it? No, of course it isn't. Will I get one at TFN? Most likely. So it's the kit. It's a real hard subject. It's hard to quantify. It's hard to pin on that one thing, you know, that makes you do it. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with having a break. There's nothing wrong with, you know, start collecting comic books or video games or whatever it is. You know, I mean, there's a point when you've got too much, and I think that's when you look at it and go, well, I don't care for these figures, or I really need the money, I can sell those. I mean, you can always buy them back, I guess. But I think if it stops being fun, I think I think the point Dave's trying to make. When it stops being fun, stop doing it, or at least have a break. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of a purge. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You know, getting rid. I've done it a fair few times. I've got rid of stuff. But there's nothing wrong with having a purge every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with, you know, just having a break from it. You know, start watching movies or start collecting comic books or start whatever it is, going out to the pub instead of buying a toy. You know, socialising a bit. And I think sometimes you can get lost in your own obsession. Sometimes you can get, and it can be dangerous on occasion. Like, for example, you've got 20 quid to last you to the end of the month, and you see the figure that you've wanted, and you buy it, and then you immediately go, I've got no bus fare. It's happened to me, it's happened, I'm sure, to everybody else as well. You know, but you can always wait till payday, you know, or you can always, I mean, the thing is, if you go in town to the nearest toy shop, and the figure isn't there, there's always Kapow. There's always, you know, a Big Bad Toy Store, there's always eBay, there's always a means to get that thing. But I think, you know, like I say, I save up for the most part and TFN and get it at TFN, and I'm likely to find the thing I'm looking for there. But yeah, there's a point when, like I said, I think the point Dave is trying to say is, because he keeps saying that he was tired. I mean, there is sometimes you just got to walk away from it every once in a while. You just got to, you know, back off and with YouTube as well. You know, if you've got a channel and you've got good subscribers, then, you know, brilliant. But I think, again, with anything, if it stops being fun, don't do it. You know, if it stops being, I mean, like video games. I love my video games. I've got an Xbox One sat here, look. You know, I mean, I play quite a lot. I've just been playing Star Wars Battlefront all afternoon. I've been playing it. But when it stops being fun, turn it off. Watch a film. Get a book out. Read a book. Or do a YouTube channel. Or don't do a YouTube channel. Like I say, if this stops being fun, don't do it. It's like with anything. If it's that moment it stops being fun, take a break. Like even with work. You could have the best job in the world, but there's times when the furthest you want to be is at work. You know, you want to be the furthest away from work. Well, then take a holiday, fly off somewhere, or go somewhere, or take a week off work. Sometimes just that rest, even if it's just a day, is enough to go. You know, I mean, there's always the case of, you know, you think, oh, well, I don't really want these figures. I mean, I can sell those figures and get 50, 60 quid or whatever. Do it. You know, if that makes you happy, do it. Stick it on eBay or take it to a collector or offer it to mates, you know, on various forums or whatever. But yeah, I think the point Dave's trying to make is, once it stops being fun, stop. You know, just have a break. You know, there's nothing wrong with taking a year off or a couple of months off, even, like I say, even a day off. Oh shit, I'm dropping everything all over the place here. And just, it's like the purge, innit? Sometimes you just got to purge. Sometimes you just got to do it. Like even like me, I go out on a Saturday when I can, when I have the means to. I go out and have a drink. And sometimes I've come home from work Saturday night of work, and I've just gone, no, I don't fancy it tonight. You know, and I've not gone out. But then the week after, I've gone out and had a fantastic time. Or the week after that, I've gone out and I've actually gone out, stood there 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I'm going to go home. You know? So it happens in all walks of life and whatever it is that you're doing. So it's just, I think, like I said earlier, I think there is the obsession, there is the point where it takes over your life somewhat. And your life is then defined by your collecting obsession, and it can get dangerous. It really can. I mean, I've toted the line a couple of times, but I've always known when to go, hang on, let's just, you know, like YouTube as well. I mean, there's nothing, I mean, if you do like me, I like doing YouTube channels, and I don't think I'll stop doing YouTube channels, because I like to talk and talk bollocks, because I'm doing it now. But I took 2 weeks off when I was house sitting for my friend Shelley, and I come back and I had a renewed vigour and I had a renewed sense of, right, let's get a YouTube video done. You know what I mean. I say there's nothing wrong with having a break every once in a while, and sometimes that day, week, 2 weeks, month, just might be the what you need. You know, I mean, sometimes it's nice to. Again, sometimes it's nice to get things off your chest. For example, you can always sit in front of a camera, waffle on for half an hour, talk about your problems and stuff like that. Then watch that video back, and then you think, oh yeah, you know what, I am coming across a bit of an arsehole or whatever. Then you delete the video, or you can upload it and just get other people going, yeah, you know what, you're a bit of a dick doing that, or whatever. And sometimes you need that kick up the arse, if that makes sense, to go, oh yeah, you know what, I might step back away from this a little bit. Because, like Dave says, there's some YouTubers out there that I've got total respect for. There's some YouTubers out there that I enjoy what they do, and there's some, you know, let's be honest, a bunch of arseholes out there as well. Nobody I would consider a friend on I've met at TFN or anything like that. But there are some people out there that, yeah, this is, and they will, because they've got more subscribers than you, or they've got a bigger channel than you, you know, you kind of, they feel superior and they make you feel inferior, and you know, it's like, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, and a lot of the time, I mean, my channel's chugging on quite nicely. I've had 5 new subscribers in this last week, which is great. Will I get 1,000 subscribers? Probably not. If I do, brilliant. Like I say, if suddenly I get 10,000 subscribers tomorrow, which is unlikely, fucking brilliant. If I get 1 subscriber tomorrow, fucking brilliant as well. You know, so, I mean, yes, I would like my YouTube channel to grow. That's why I'm expanding here and there and doing things and trying things out, seeing what, you know, throwing things up against the wall and seeing what sticks. And if it can, because like I say, I'm only on 12 hours and I'm looking for another job. I am looking for extra hours and stuff like that. But if I can do the thing that I enjoy doing that gets me an extra bit of money every month, then brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. I could use that money to buy new equipment, you know, buy new things to review, and just give me a little bit of, you know, a little bit of extra on top of my wages that I get from work. I mean, if I don't get it, I'm not going to miss it because I ain't got it now. So, but that would be, you know, that's what I'm striving for. That's what I'm sort of. But again, if I don't get it, I'm not going to be bothered because I'm still going to make YouTube videos regardless, and I enjoy doing the videos. I enjoy waffling on. Like I say, I've made this point, a point that could have just took 5 minutes to explain. It's taken nearly half an hour. But that's the power of YouTube, though. Sometimes I think that's the power of, well, just being yourself, you know. So I think, anyway, I get back on point. I think the basic thing that Dave was asking is there a point where it becomes dangerous? And yes, there is. And is there a point where you stop enjoying what it is that you do? Then you need to take a break. You really need to step back out of your life a bit and go, right, you know what? I'm going to think about my life and think about how much I'm spending on Transformers or whatever it is you buy. And just think, you know what? I'm just going to, you know, I'm not going to buy anything this month, for example. I mean, I've done it. This month I have bought myself a Gundam kit. But the only Transformer I've bought is Blowpipe. And because I just can't find any, you know, Siege stuff local. And I don't fancy paying retail and postage as well because these things are getting more expensive. So, anywho, that's me. I will catch you all later, and I will, and if you'd like to subscribe, donate, and everything like that, you know what to do. And I'll catch you all later. Bye for now.